Hi, this is Brenda with Workshop Scraps by Brenda, and today I have a project share of wedding program that I created using a Cameo Silhouette. Cut it out on a Cameo Silhouette. I actually have two versions, my rough draft version and then a final project. So the rough draft version is a shaped wedding program, and this is what it looks like, and it's individual pieces that we designed really using Microsoft Office. I imported the actual wording into the Silhouette program and printed it as a PDF to be sent to the printer, so with the registration marks, so that you can cut it out in your Silhouette easy. You know, you load it, the machine recognizes the registration marks and cuts your project. And this was 7 pages, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that includes this last page that's embossed, which is cardstock. It's a canary cardstock. The colors for this wedding were teal, pale yellow, and something like a light lavender. That's not what the names are. They're fancy wedding names, but basically yellow, teal, and lavender. However, we had to do 200 of these, and that kind of got costly for the bride, so we didn't end up going with this project. Okay, so we didn't do this one. We actually ended up doing a folded program, which really looks nice, and it's bigger. Okay, and with this one I did 2 on a sheet, which is 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and allowed me to cut 2, but with the registration marks I was kind of limited as to how big I could make it and still have the registration marks. So there are a couple of reasons we didn't go with this. If I had put 1 on the page, that would have allowed me to have it bigger, but it would have been more of a cost for the bride. So we ended up with going with this project, and it's a folded card, still shaped, so she was pleased with that. And if you see, it's bigger. Okay, let me get the points together here. You can see it's about that much bigger, which does make a difference. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But it's front and back, and these are just pieces of paper to cover up their personal information. But it's front and back, 2 sheets, shaped card that I cut on a Cameo Silhouette, and I punched the holes using the Big Bite Crocodile, the small hole that's on it, to punch these 2 holes and thread the satin ribbon through. But because I made it bigger, I only used 1 shape per sheet of vellum and paper. I was not able to use the registration marks, and initially that could have been challenging, but once I did my template and started, all you really have to do is make sure that you line up your sheet each time in the same spot on your mat, and then load your mat pretty much as you can in the same way under the roller, so that when it rolls the mat in, it starts cutting in the same spot. So I had a little bit of leeway, and it wasn't hard. It was just time consuming, and I actually had about 10 mats that I worked with that were sticky enough, and you need a sharp blade. And we actually, on this one, we printed on the vellum. You see, it's actually printed on the vellum, and it's printed on the back, and it's in mirror image and flipped, so when you flip it over, it looks muted over the picture, which is pretty. And here's another sample. It just has a wedding quote, 2 hearts become 1, just a wedding quote for an example. But you can see it's darker when you turn it that way, because we printed it on this side and then flipped it like a mirror image, so that, because we wanted to show up, you know, lighter on the finished product. But with this final one, we didn't print on the vellum at all, so that saved cost a bit if you're doing your own invitations or announcements. It doesn't have to be a wedding, but we didn't print on the vellum. We actually printed on the paper, and she supplied her own paper, which is thicker than copy paper. Is actually a yellow granite kind of invitation paper, so it is thicker. I don't know if you can actually see. It's got these little kind of specks in it, but it's thicker. And so she supplied her own paper, and it's just printed 2-sided, and we cut it, and it turned out beautiful. I liked it. And so thank you for watching my video, and if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to ask, and have a great day. Bye.